Good morning. And I'm giving praises and blessings to our Creator, our King, our Heavenly Father, Yah. Peace and blessings to brothers and sisters out here that's awakening in the truth to know and identify who they truly are. That we need to seek the truth now due to the fact that we are awakened and to understand the covenant that was given to our people. And I'm going to open this video up with a prayer, giving glory to the Father, that this is all because of Him, that we acknowledge Him and all things that He do, that whether it be bad or good, it's the Most High that makes things possible or impossible for man to whether create or non-create. So let me go to Psalms 29, and I want to give glory to the Most High. On this occasion, it says, "Give unto the Most High, O ye mighty, give unto the Most High glory and strength. Give unto the Most High the glory due unto His name. Worship the Most High in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the Most High is upon the waters. The Most High of glory thundereth. The Most High is upon many waters. The voice of the Most High is powerful. The voice of the Most High is full of majesty. The voice of the Most High breaketh the cedars. Ye, the Most High, breaketh the cedars of Lebanon. He maketh them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Syria like a young unicorn. The voice of the Most High divideth the flames of fire. The voice of the Most High shaketh the wilderness. The Most High shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Most High maketh the hinds to calve, and discover the forest, and in his temple doeth everyone speak of his glory. The Most High sitteth upon the flood. Ye, the Most High sitteth kings forever. The Most High will give strength unto his people. The Most High will bless his people with peace." And this is where we get reverence the Most High, giving glory unto his name, unto all the things that he's done for us being the chosen people, to come back to his law, statutes, and commandments, and keep the laws of Yah. Uh, on this occasion, I thank the Most High for teaching me how to read his word, and guiding me into the truth, to let me know who I am, and what it is that I need to do in order to live another day. Right? So, what I'm about to do through the Creator is show that Israel is like none other, that we are completely separate from the other nations. And even in our captivity, Yah told us not to follow the ways of the heathen, that we were to not walk in the ways of the other nations, right? And so let me go over here for a moment, right? And I wanted to show that when it comes down to Israel, we are to be separate from amongst other nations, no matter where we are, whether in our land or in the captivity of our enemies, that we are to be separate. I'm going to read according to precept upon precept, the laws of Moses, Yah teaches us not to follow no other nation, right? And then Leviticus 18:3 said, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinance. So Yah is telling us, whatever He do, whether He bring, wherever He take us, we are not to follow like the other nations. Leviticus 20:23. We read in according precept upon precept, as a commandment upon a commandment, or ordinance toward an ordinance, and oracle toward an oracle. And Leviticus 20:23 it says that ye shall not walk in the manner of the nations which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. Deuteronomy 12:30 and 31, it reads, take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou, and Deuteronomy 12:31, it says, thou shalt not do so unto the Most High thy power, but every abomination to the Most High which he hateth have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. Now, when we read according to the testimony, what Yah says, to the laws and to the testimony, they speak not of these words, there's no light in them. And that we use Psalms 119:105 said that the law is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. That we use the law as a guide in order to further give us clear understanding. But there is also a law that tells us, according to Deuteronomy 6:17, that we need to take heed to the testimony just well. So Deuteronomy 6:17 says, ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High your God, and his testimonies and his statute which we have commanded. Exodus 15:26, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Most High thy power, that will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandment, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Most High that healeth thee. Deuteronomy 6:1 said, now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgment with the Most High your God command to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. And finally, Deuteronomy 6:2, that thou mightest fear the Most High thy power to keep all his statutes and his commandments which I command you. So now, let's make notice and understand Isaiah 8:20 says, to the laws and to the testimony, they speak not of these words, there's no light in them. We're going to go to the testimony of Jeremiah 10, Jeremiah 10, and we're going to read verse 1 and 2. It reads, hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And this is a testimony that Yah tells us not to walk after the heathens. If we read verse 3 and 4, it said, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the works of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails, and with hammers it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So when we look at this, this is what Israel, what the Most High is telling Israel, that you celebrate these holidays and they have nothing to do with you. They pagan it. He told you not to do what the heathens do. But instead, our people are still celebrating Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever you want to call it. They still doing it. So this is just a brief example of how we read and understand the words of the Most High. And now we want to get into the lesson by the Creator. Just shows you that our marriages is completely separate from other nations. When we look according to the word, Yah said that it was not good for man to dwell alone, and that he created man and fashioned them after his own image. Right now we read in Genesis 2 and 18, it said, "The Most High said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet." Law, what he says in Genesis 2 and 24, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife. They shall be of one flesh." So we need to understand and know, when you have sex with your wife, you become as one. You carry their ways, their behavior, and so forth. To the point, this is why it was very necessary for y'all to tell us not to mix our blood with other nations, due to the fact is that we was the chosen one to abide in the law and the commandments. And due to following other nations, that they will stray us away from the Most High. And he will end up bringing wrath and his anger upon our people for disobeying his commandment. Now, we're going to read according to the testimony, according to the different ways of marriage that Israel involved themselves in. So I'm going to read the first testimony, and then we can begin about Adam and Eve, because Adam and Eve was the first man and woman to ever exist. And when you look according to the ways that Yah brought them to be as the people that he chose, he made a covenant with them also as well. Okay, it says, I'm going to start at Genesis 2 and 18 said, "And the Most High Yah said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." And out of the ground the Most High Yah formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to all the fowls of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Most High Yah caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, "This is now bones of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed." You see what I'm saying? And this is the Heavenly Father bringing Eve to Adam, that they became as one. You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand. I love the thing when he said, "Ye are gods," because now I understand we walk in the ways and the image of our Father, how He deals with us is how He did everything from the beginning. So now that I understand that, it's very important for a man to be in the house, to know the law, to be able to guide his family and teach them the ways according to the Most High, that we walk in His image, how He fashioned us. Let's go through another testimony, and we're going to show the different parts of how marriage was sanctified. And if we can read in Genesis 24, we're going to read the story of how Abraham sought out a helpmate for his son Isaac. Just a second, Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Most High had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under thy thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Most High, the God of heaven, and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanite amongst whom I dwell. But thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servants said unto him, peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I need bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest? And Abraham said unto him, beware thou, that thou bring not my son thither again. And the Most High Yah of heaven, which took me from thy father's house, and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that swear unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land. He shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. And if the woman I will not be willing to follow thee, then shalt thou be clear from this oath. Only bring not my son thither again. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and sware to him concerning the matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia unto the city of Nahor. And he made his camel to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of the evening, the time that women go out to draw water. And he said, O Yah, God of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink, and she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camel drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for my servant Isaac, and thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master. And it came to pass before thee had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abram's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my lord, my master. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water for thy camels also until they have done drinking. And she has hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough, and ran again unto the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held this peace, to wit whether the Most High had made his journey prosperous or not. And it came to pass, as the camel had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight, and two bracelets for her hand of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, Whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. She said, Moreover unto him, we have both straw and provender enough and room to lodge in. And the man bowed down his head and worshipped the Most High. And he said, Blessed be the Most High God of my master Abraham, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy. And it's truth that I, being in the way, the Most High led me to the house of my master's brother. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man, unto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and bracelet upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camel at the well. And he said, Come in, thou blessed of the Most High, wherefore standest thou without? For I, for I have prepared the house and room for the camel. And the man came in the house, and he ungirded his camel, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I will not eat until I have told my errand. And he said, Speak on. And he said, I am Abraham's servant. And the Most High have blessed my master greatly, and he has become great, and he have given him flocks, and herds, and silver, and gold, and manservants, and maidservants, and camels, and asses. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old, and unto him he hath given all that he hath. And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife, my son, of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. But thou shalt go in unto my father's house and my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, The Most High before whom I walk will send his angel with thee, and prosper by thy way. And thou shalt take a wife for my son, of my kindred, and of my father's house. Then shalt thou be clear from this my oath, when thou comest to my kindred. And if they give not thee one, thou shalt be clear from my oath. And I came this day unto the wall, to the well, and said, O Most High Yah, of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosper my way which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin cometh forth to draw water, and I say to her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she say to me, Both drink thou, and I will also draw thy camels. Let the same be the woman who the Most High have appointed out of my master's son. And before I had done speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came forth, and her pitcher of her shoulder, and she went down unto the well and drew water. And I said unto her, Let me not drink, I pray thee. And she made haste and let down her pitcher from her shoulder, and said, Drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. And I asked her and said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earrings upon her face, and the bracelet upon her hand. And I bowed down my head and worshipped the Most High, and blessed the Most High, Yah of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master's brother. daughter unto his son, and now you will deal kindly and truly with my master. Tell me, and if not, tell me that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, the things proceeded from the Most High. We cannot speak unto thee bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go and let her be thy master's son's wife, as the Most High have spoken. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped the Most High, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiments, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things, and they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, let the damsel abide with us a few days, at least 10. After that she shall go. And she said unto them, hinder me not, seeing the Most High have prospered my way. Send me away that I may go to my master. And they said, we will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah their sister and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of damsel of millions, and let thy seed possess the gates those which hate them. And Rebekah arose and her damsel, and they rode upon the camels and followed the men. And the servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well. They hate Roy, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camel were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lifted up the camel. For she had said unto the servant, what man is that walking through the fields to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered her face. And the servant told Isaac all things he had done. Now Isaac brought her into the mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after her mother's death. So we seeing in this story right here that Abraham's servant is went to find a helpmeet for his master's Abraham's son Isaac. And this was one of the ways that our people dealt with marriage. You had to approach the father and be given permission in order to marry his daughter. You see what I'm saying? And then you're going to find out also it is up to the father who searched for his son a wife just as well. So now let's go into the story of Jacob. The 12 tribes were formed. We see in Genesis 29, we read how Jacob worked 7 years for his wife. Genesis 29. Let's go to let's start at we're gonna start at well, we're gonna start at the first verse. We're gonna start at the top. And it reads that then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the fields, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flock, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, Of Haran are ye. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should it be gathered together. Water ye the sheep and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot until all the flocks be gathered together till they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while ye speak with them, Rachel came with her father sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of the barn, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and withered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister, son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, should thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the youngest was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve these 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. So now we see that the agreement was made that Jacob had worked 7 years in order to marry Rachel, but he ended up marrying Leah. But he also said, I will work 7 more years, and he ended up being married to Rachel just as well. So we have two ways that we see that a ceremony had taken place due to the fact that Abraham used a servant to search out Isaac a helpmeet for to be his wife, just as well as we see that Jacob went to his uncle's place and he agreed to work 7 years to marry his cousin. So that's what we need to understand. Our marriage is completely different from what we see where other nations, to the point that we not to walk in the ways of the heathens and to carry ourselves according to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, let's go to multiple marriages where we are allowed from the time that we leave our captivity and be gathered in the wilderness, that we would be able to take on multiple marriages due to the fact that Yah will restore our blessing to us, that we are able to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in the wilderness. And Yah says if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he does these three things unto her, then shall she go out free without money. So when we read Exodus 21:10 and verses 11, 21 verse 10 and 11, we see that if you diminish your first wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty for fulfilling her obligation to you as a helpmeet, then she could leave without alimony. And this is what we need to understand. Deuteronomy 17:17 said, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. So when we look according to the testimony of Solomon, Solomon had multiple wives that he had ended up marrying, but he ended up serving and worshiping the other nations' God. And this is what brought the wrath of the Most High upon Solomon, that the kingdom was taken from him. You see what I'm saying? So if you consider yourself to interracial marriage, dealing with other nations, one, they got to consider to take hold of the covenant and to serve your God. There's no way that you can marry outside your nation and following other nations' custom. You are forbidden to walk after the heathens, is what we read in Leviticus 18:3, Leviticus 20:23, and Deuteronomy 12:30 and 31. You are forbidden to walk after the ways of the heathen. So now we go into the in the ways of how a man humbles a woman and end up laying with her, that she officially becomes the wife to that man. The law indicates in Deuteronomy 22, verses 28 and 29, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and he lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Then we read in Exodus verse 22, verse 16 and 17 says, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. But in Exodus 22 and 17 says, if her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. And we talking about a woman's cycle, according to her cycle, to her virginity. Once you break her virginity, it's a done deal. You pay according to the dowries. So at the time of her virginity was broken. Let's go into Genesis 34 and read the story of Dinah. And it says, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor and Hivites, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his son were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field. When they heard it, the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel, and lying with Jacob's daughter, which things ought not to be done. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the souls of my son Shechem longing for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you, and ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you, dwell and trade you therein, and get you possessions therein. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give ye according ye shall say unto me. But give me the damsel to wife. And the son of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah her sister. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised, then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if ye will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughters, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son. And the son and the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came in into the gate of their city and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land and trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only here will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us, to be one people. If every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised, shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of their be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. So we see this how trade came about. When we dealt with the other nations and intermingled and make marriage, what yours became mine. This is where we deal with the law of inheritance. So you have to understand, this is why it's very important that you be required to know who you're dealing with in order to know. We can't just deal with anybody and everybody that we end up lusting after. You got to understand that you, as being a peculiar people, to know who you are is meaning that you have to make a wise decision on choosing who that you want to marry. And it's up to the father to give away the bride, to give away the son, right? Let me show you in Judges 15, according to the testimony of Samson, it was up to his father and mother to father for finding him a wife. In the book of Judges 15, we read, But it came to pass within a while after the time of wheat harvest that Samson visited his wife with a kid. No, this 14. Let's go 14. And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughter of the Philistine. And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistine. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren or among all my people that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistine? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleased me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Most High that he sought an occasion against the Philistine, for at that time of the Philistine had dominion over Israel. And see, this saying again, an uncircumcised people, a nation that is not of our people, you cannot intermingle with them. We was only to dwell amongst ourselves. We was intermarried with one another. And this is where you are able to marry your cousin. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, you got to understand Israel is a very, very peculiar people that we special to the Most High, and that He requires for us to keep His laws in the body and His word, right? And we was told to keep the heritage within the nation. But if you was to go outside the nation, it had to be someone who was willing to take hold of the covenant to worship your God and keep the laws of the covenant, right? Let's go into the thing when we dealing with interracial marriage, and we're gonna continue to deal with that. We're gonna go into the book of Ruth, and we're gonna show you that Ruth was a Moabite. Ruth was a Moabite who was married to Israelites that was from the tribe of Judah. She was the wife to Mahlon. We're gonna read and see how she took hold of the covenant. And now we dealing with interracial marriage, right? Let's go and we're gonna read verses 1 through 16 in the first chapter. It says, Now it came to pass in the day when judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, Bethlehem, Judah, went to a journey in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his two sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his two sons Mahlon and Chilion, Ephraimites of the Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi, husband died, and she was left and her two sons. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. And they dwelt there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them. And the woman was left of her two sons and her husband. Then she arose with her daughter in law He had heard in the country of Moab how that the Most High visited his people in giving them bread. Wherefore she daughter-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her two daughter-in-law, Go return to your mother's house. The Most High deal kindly with you as you dealt with the dead, and with me. The Most High grant you that yet you may find rest, even though you have suffered greatly. And Naomi said, "Turn again, my daughter. Why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husband?" She said, "Daughter, go your way, for I am too old to have a husband. If I should say, I have hope, if I should have a husband also tonight, and shall also bear sons, will ye tarry for them till they were grown? Will ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieved me much for your sakes, that the hands of the Most High is gone out against me." And they lifted up their voice and wept again. She kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her, and she said,